So it's getting really boring around here. So I thought, first of all, I would show you something I wrote for you. There's going to be a little movie with teachers in it, and we all wrote you something, and this is how I feel when I think about you, Anderson astronauts. When I think of you, my students, you make my heart sing. Somebody erased half that heart. My friend, who's coming here in just a minute, my daughter. Cuando pienso en ustedes, mis estudiantes, mi corazón canta. Okay, come here. Guess what? It's my daughter again. We're trying to have fun together. So today we are going to show you coronavirus safety. Okay, so we bought masks. We're going to put these on. You have to use both straps. By the way, this is my daughter Keelan, and we bought masks. And, oh, okay, so we're ready to be safe, right?
Yeah.
Do you want to say anything about these?
These protect you from getting sick. So wash your hands.
Back to the story. You may have noticed that behind us there is a star. Peace on earth. This was the clue for the next story. And when we love and respect each other, we can have peace on earth. When we don't, it gets really bad.
And scary.
Yeah. So I want you to imagine a world where I would say to someone, you can't be my friend because you have dark hair.
Well, you can't be my friend because you wear jeans.
Well, I don't like the way your hair looks. Like, I don't like braids.
That makes me feel sad.
Right. So basically, today we're going to read the story, The Starbelly Sneetches. And it connects to the star, but it also teaches a lesson about how we can live in peace and harmony together by enjoying everyone and loving everyone for their differences. If we were all the same, this world would be very boring. And we need each other's differences.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a friend that's different?
I have lots of friends that are different.
Like, give me an example.
I have a very good friend who is from Puerto Rico, and I am from Arizona, so there are a lot of differences between us.
What's different about her?
She is Latina and speaks Spanish and has a different culture than I do when I have been born and raised in the States.
Nice. Thanks, Keelan. So here's a book for today, and this is a bit longer, but stick with it and see if you can hear the rhyme. It's called The Sneetches by Dr. Seuss. We are not going to read the other stories, just the Sneetches. Notice how these Sneetches have a star on their bellies. Interesting. We can cut that out. Actually, boys and girls, we're just going to touch that. See how it goes. Okay. Now the Starbelly Sneetches had bellies with stars. The plain belly Sneetches had none upon theirs. Those stars weren't so big. They were really so small. You might think such a thing wouldn't matter at all. But because they had stars, all the Starbelly Sneetches would brag. were the best kind of Sneetch on the beaches. With their snoots in the air, they would sniff and they'd snort. We'll have nothing to do with the plain belly sort. And whenever they met some, whenever they were walking, they'd hike right on past without even talking. When the Starbelly's children went out to play ball, could a plain belly get in the game? Not at all. You could only play if your bellies had stars, and the plain belly children had none upon theirs. When the Starbelly Sneetches had Frankfurter roasts, or picnics, or parties, or marshmallow toasts, they never invited the plain belly Sneetches. They left them out cold in the dark of the beaches. They kept them away, never let them come near, and that's how they treated them year after year. Then one day, it seems, while the plain belly Sneetches were moping and doping alone on the beaches, just sitting there wishing their bellies had stars, a stranger zipped up in the strangest of cars. "My friends," he announced in a voice clear and keen, "my name is Sylvester McMonkey McBean, and I've heard of your troubles. I've heard you're unhappy, but I can fix that. I'm the fix-it-up chappie. I've come here to help you. I have what you need, and my prices are low, and I work at great speed, and my work is 100% guaranteed." Then quickly Sylvester McMonkey McBean put together a very peculiar machine, and he said, "You want stars like the Starbelly Sneetch? My friends, you can have them for $3 each. Just pay me your money and hop right aboard." And they clambered inside, and then the big machine roared, and it clonked, and it bonked, and it jerked, and it burked, and it bopped them about, but that thing really worked. And when the plain belly Sneetches popped out, they had stars. They actually did. They had stars upon theirs. Theirs is not a real word, boys and girls. Then they yelled at the ones who had stars at the start. "We're exactly like you. You can't tell us apart. We're all just the same now, you snooty old smarties, and now we can go to your Frankfurter parties." "Good grief," groaned the ones who had stars at the first. "We're still the best Sneetches, and they are the worst. But now how in the world will we know," they all frowned, "if which kind is what, or the other way around?" Then up came McBean with a very sly wink, and he said, "Things are not quite as bad as you think. So you don't know who's who? That is perfectly true. But come with me, friends. Do you know what I'll do? I'll make you again the best Sneetches on beaches, and it will cost you just $10 eaches." Uh-oh, guess who's making out on this one? "Belly stars are no longer in style," said McBean. "What you need is a trip through my star-off machine. This wondrous contraption will take off your stars, so you won't look like the Sneetches who have them on theirs." And that handy machine worked very precisely, removed all those stars from their tummies quite nicely. And then, with snoots in the air, they paraded about, and they opened their beaks, and they let out a shout. And we know who is who. Now there isn't a doubt. They're the best kind of Sneetches, are Sneetches without. And then, of course, those with stars all got frightfully mad. To be wearing a star now was frightfully bad. And then, of course, old Sylvester McMonkey McBean invited them in his star-off machine. And then, of course, from then on, as you probably guessed, things really got into a horrible mess. All the rest of that day, on those wild screaming beaches, the fix-it-up chappie kept fixing up Sneetches. Off again, on again, in again, out again, Through the machines, they'd race round and about again, changing their stars off every minute or two. They kept paying money, they kept running through, until neither the plane nor the Starbellies knew whether this one was that one, or which one was this one, or which one was what one, or what one was who. I love this book. Then, when every last cent of their money was spent, the fix-it-up chappie packed up and he went. And he laughed as he drove in his car up the beach. They never will learn. Nope, you can't teach a Sneetch. Boys and girls, we call that taking advantage of a situation. But McBean was quite wrong, I'm quite happy to say, that the Sneetches got really quite smart on that day. The day they decided that Sneetches are Sneetches, and no kind of Sneetch is the best on the beaches. That day all the Sneetches forgot about stars, and whether they had one or not upon theirs. One of my most favorite books of all time. Imagine if in this world we all looked the same, we all spoke the same language, we all acted the same, we all wanted to have the same kinds of friends. It would not be a very good world. I am proud of the fact that at our school, Anderson Elementary, we have kids from at least 15 different languages, very many countries, and I have the privilege of teaching you all. So, Anderson astronauts, talk to your parents, talk to your brothers and sisters about what it's like when you make friends with somebody new and you find out something special and unique about them. Until tomorrow, have a great day in the USA. So, Anderson astronauts, my friends, I don't know if you noticed it, but behind me the other day on our last story, there was, you got it, I just lost my earring. I pulled it off with the mask. That'll be in the bloopers. Oh, jeez. Okay. Most, but could you go close that door?
There's too many examples.
Luisa from Puerto Rico. Oops. I did mine wrong. Okay, enough of that. Let's take those off.